Okay, welcome everyone back to the channel here. I appreciate you watching. I'm kind of pretty excited about this teardown. I don't think I've ever been so excited about a teardown in my life. So typically tear saws down to repair them. But just a couple things I wanted to say before we get started on this, and I appreciate you listening to this part if you could. There will be pauses in this video, okay? I'm gonna pause it or edit it to where it's not so long. I know nobody out there wants to watch a 2-hour teardown or whatever, because I'm gonna stop and explain things and whatever, and show things to you guys out there. So I appreciate your patience on that. I'm gonna try to edit this as best I can so you can get the logic behind every part. And I'm not gonna show everyone where I'm unscrewing 3 screws in a row and things of that nature. So hopefully you can appreciate that. I know I do when I watch videos. I really appreciate people doing that. So I'm gonna do the same. Another thing I wanted to say is at the end of the video, please stick around until the end of the video. I'm going to give you a couple of assumptions. We'll just call them assumptions. I have about how this clone came to be, especially after chatting with a few very experienced builders here in the state. Few friends of mine, actually. I'm going to name anyone. You are definitely going to want to hear this, though. So please stick around to the end. One other thing. I wanted to preface this entire video by saying I honestly do not care if anyone likes or dislikes clone chainsaws, okay? Or anything Chinese made, Chinese imports in general. So for those that keep trolling my channel and my groups and people like Killinger's channel, he also has one of these prototypes. Take a look at everything around you, including the device you're typing all this hatred on. It's made in China, okay? Like literally everything is made in China. I'm not going to get into all that, but choose your battles and stop spreading all this racism and hate. It's a horrible look, and I'm not going to tolerate it on my channel or my groups. So if you dislike China or Chinese made equipment or anything like that, I don't care. Most people around you that you think care about that, or that you want to get a thrill off of whatever you're doing, they don't care. They really don't care. They know you're a jackass, okay, when you start talking like that. So just save yourself some face, man. It's just pathetic. Let's move on. It's 2024, and the world is how it is, okay? I don't make the rules up. Killinger don't make the rules up, so why come in here and spread that stuff? That's all I want to say about that. Okay, so I'm going to try my best to use the parts given to me, what you'll get if you get one of these 3120 clones. I'm going to try to use all the parts that come in the kit, so the person at home could follow along if they kind of, need to take a part off or, whatever. So you can basically replicate what I'm doing here. Now, I'm no pro, but I have a lot of knowledge on small engines in general, and chainsaws too, 2-stroke technology. I'm not Charles Briscoe or Kevin Levanway, or Tanton or someone like that, but I do know quite a bit about it. And if I don't know, I can either reach out to someone that does know, or I could probably figure it out. So I just wanted to tell you that, if you want to try any of this stuff at home, do it at your own risk. I'm not liable for any of it. So I just want to show you what this chainsaw is made of, and you can make your own assumptions from there, okay? So before we do anything, I'm just gonna tell you right now, I have found a few problems with this chainsaw, okay? Now, that's why this was sent to me, okay? As like a testing bed, okay? I've had a few chainsaws like that so far. You know, I'm just a messenger. You know, I don't work for this company or affiliated with them in any way. I've just established a relationship with them, and I help them market some of their products that I like. And you know, that's how it goes with me. And you know, I get some deals and stuff along the way. So, you know, I'm getting nothing out of this, okay? Really. I feel obligated to tell the truth, you know, and that's what I'm going to do here. So again, before we get started, the very first thing, the biggest thing about this chainsaw, when you get one, please do me a huge favor and check the throttle mechanism here, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and take this chain brake off. Everybody knows how to do that, right? There it is, it's off. Okay, we've seen that in the old video, or previous video. There's throttle right here. The entire throttle plastics, the trigger, right? See what it does here? See, I didn't do anything. Okay, on these there are a throttle lock. It's a little piece of aluminum right here, okay? And this throttle is sticking. Okay, probably just poor quality control stuff, you know, where they didn't process these extruded parts in a tumbler or something like that to smooth all the parts out. Okay, but I don't think they're going to be that way when they get deployed in April, hopefully April. But if they are, if you get this saw and you have this issue, first you'll want it, because if you're in the cut and you have this issue, it's not pleasant because it's wide open throttle, your throttle's sticking, okay? So when that happens, what I found is the very tail end of this presence switch clicks that out of full throttle, okay? Again, I don't think they're going to be that way when they get to States, but this is why people like me get these saws, okay, to check all this stuff out. If yours were to do that, okay, I think it's getting caught on this lock inside. This throttle is somehow, but I've noticed that if you kind of press on the back of the presence lever, it pops back out. So just in case, I'm putting all this stuff out there. Again, it should be corrected, but I want someone, you know, it's a safety. It could be potentially a safety issue, so I want to get that out to the general public if you get one of these 3120s, okay? Next is the oiler. Let's see if I can get this clutch off real quick here. Righty loosey. Probably not. There it goes. Yeah, so it says right on here, on the clutch, how to take it off and put it back on. You'll see it, it'll say off right here, this way. So just in case you're new to saws, they're a lot like that, you know, for safety. Okay, so anyway, there's the clutch. Take this off. The bearing. And the sprocket, which goes here. So if you don't know, this comes with 4047 pin on it, and you have a 4048 that's optional, because this saw definitely can pull that 8, no problem. But if you're going to be milling, I encourage you to leave the 7 on there. You can also put a 3/8 on there, you know, whatever you want to do there, okay? But what I do want to say real quick is this clutch housing fits inside this worm gear right here, okay? The worm gear turns the oiler mechanism inside, okay? So that's how that works, if you don't know. Most people watching this probably know that. Sorry guys, but you know, I gotta put it all out there. Both mine and Chris Killinger's each had something kind of, just a small problem wrong with them. Mine was not oiling, and I reached out to him and told him. He checked his, he found out the issue on his. And again, this all should be fixed by the time you get your saw, but if it's not, you will know, okay, what to do, what to look for. So if your saw's not oiling, check the common things like, you know, are these little oiler ports, you know, clogged up and, you know, whatever. But when you take this off, let's just do that. Okay, so basically take those 3 Allen screws out. They're right here, I don't know if you can see them. And then just, you can kind of tap on this a little bit. It'll loosen up. And, well, you want to take this off first. Counterclockwise takes it off. Okay, that's your worm gear. Doesn't matter, you don't have to take it off first. And there should be a washer in here too. Yeah, there's a little washer right here. And this right here is the seal to the PTO side, so be very careful with that. And this is what it looks like. Man, a little spring starting to come off there too. You don't want that off. As far as the oil adjustment goes, I think this was their attempt at it. There's typically a larger flathead screw here. And what they'd done was they just kind of capped it off with the small Allen. So what you can do basically, and this works in conjunction with your manual oiler, and you can, it's almost like an idle screw. It can kind of, I think that's what they were trying to do there. See how the screw go, or you know, the arm for the manual oiler goes up and down. I think that's what they were trying to do there, which in theory I guess would work. I don't like how loose that screw is. I mean, and I also don't like the fact that you can turn it all the way out, because all the way out would be, oh, that's the other thing. It's the opposite of what the OEM says. Well, it's the opposite of what the chainsaw here says as well. And plus is counterclockwise, and less oil is clockwise. Would be the opposite here, because clockwise pulls that arm up, which gives you more oil. So be aware of that if you get one of these. That's kind of what that looks like. And there is a little, I don't know what this is. I think it just protects this manual oiler mechanism from getting dust and debris in it. This little sponge thing right here. But the problem you might come to see is there's so your oil gets pulled from the bar oil reservoir from this port right here, and this is where your filter and everything is on the other side of this. It gets pulled up and then it comes right through here into here, and it continues to pull it through this port and then in through here. I don't like this design at all, FYI, but whatever. and then it goes through there, then it goes inside the tank, then it loops around in a line, a little rubber line, and then it comes out right here to oil your bar. One problem was I opened this, mine wasn't oiling. I opened this and there was a little tiny O-ring just kind of sitting, hanging out right down here. And I'm like, oh, that doesn't look right. I didn't know where it went because I've never opened one of these before. And apparently it goes right here. There's two O-rings right here on this. Okay, I don't know why they did that. It probably isn't factory like that, but it might be. But there's two O-rings right here on mine. Okay, put it back on here. It worked just fine. Now Killinger's I don't know when he's going to put his videos out on this, but so hopefully he's not going to beat me up for saying it. But on his, this whole mechanism right here, this screw was out and just laying down here, and so he had to feed this back through and tighten that screw down. And because the manual, this is a manual oiler, you know, it's up by the on-off switch. So when you pull it, it, you know, pumps more oil. It allows this to pump more oil is what it does. Word to the wise, unless you have a lot of patience, don't ever take these two screws here off, because there's a spring right here that'll fly off, and if you don't lose it, you try to put that back in, it is a pain in the butt, man. Putting all this back on in that at the same time. So another thing I want to tell you about really quick that I know about is I was looking everywhere for the vent for the bar oil, because there's a vent in almost every chainsaw, right? The vent I found out to be, so here's another design. I'm not sure if this is OEM, but I'd be surprised if it was like this in OEM. So you can see right here, this is broken off. It's chain guide is what it is. Okay, there's one on the bottom, there's a big one that kind of sits right here on top. And I was kind of prying at it, because most of them just pop off, right? So you can replace them because they wear out. This one didn't pop off, it broke off. But behind this, right here, sits the vent. It's a little duckbill vent. Here, I'll take this off and show you. But you can't take this off unless this is off. The little chain guide is off. Hence the reason I was looking for that vent. And it broke. So anyway, yeah, right here, right down here is a little duckbill. Let me get it for you, if I can. Yeah, I think it's coming. Well, daggone it. There it goes. There it is right there. Hoping that shows up on camera. It's a little duckbill, basically a one-way valve that works off pressure. It'll pull air in, but it won't let it out. But that's your vent, so it's located right there. What a horrible place to put that, huh? Another thing real quick, this screw hole goes all the way into the reservoir, the oil reservoir. So if you have this off and you tilt your saw the other way, oil will pour out of that hole. This mount is a D009 large Husky mount when you go to get a bar. So yeah, this muffler real quick, let's talk about it. It's there's like 7 shark fins inside this muffler, and that's it. So if you plan on milling or using one of these saws extensively, I don't recommend that. You can get a plate or something, but it's going to burn this flag eventually if you run it over time. You can see where it sits down on the flag, see there? And so the back side of this is plastic. My buddy Tanton pointed that out to me, and I'm glad he did. That is not, the OEM design has a deflector that comes out like this. So what I'm gonna probably do is just punch all this down and make something here. You know, because I plan on milling with this and stuff, but don't like that, not a good design. Okay, so there's little protector pads here. I don't know what those are called. And there's 2 Allens right here, and then these 2 Allens here. And when you take this out, I wonder if I remove these screws, if it'll help. I hate to do that, but I'm going to. Not really. You can see this sucker is in there now. Gee whiz, I'm gonna try to pull that to the side. That's the throttle? Sure is. Jeez. Yeah, that's like really in there. Just a tiny little slit right there. Can I pull this? Oh yeah, so you get this rubber stuff. Here we go. Okay, now I'm gonna take this off. And oh, this intake just, wow, just kind of, yeah. There's the intake. Wow, yeah, it kind of just sits in there. So that's interesting. So we'll kind of put that to the side. Yeah, here's one thing I do not like is this deal right here. This thing, God, is it molded in there? This little housing for the jet screws. I do not like that. It looked like it's kind of like cut or something. I don't understand that. It's probably cut so you can get to the other screw, but let's look at this carburetor. See, so again, you guys are looking at this at the same time I am. That's the first time I've ever even had one in my hand. So I'm looking at this here. So this is what it looks like. And so when you go to tune it, that makes no sense. Hold on. Oh, wow, okay. This is the idle screw. These 2 right here are what you see through the big hole on the side here. It says T. And this is the one that you see where it says L. See, I thought this was the idle screw because I saw these 2 together. Okay, I'm wrong. So, oh man, this just gets deeper and deeper. So obviously this is your idle screw right here. So when I said this was 3 from the factory, 3 turns out, it was actually the idle screw and the high jet screw. I'm assuming, yeah, it says H on it. Yeah, this actually says H and L right there. So it says L here and H over here. Man, I hope you guys can see that. It says, yeah, there's a little H right here for high jet and a L for, I wonder if this is a WJ3 or something. Okay, so this just comes out. You just got to pull this down, it comes out. And so that, yeah, that's the throttle cable. Here's your choke. This is the manual oiler right here. And on-off switch, ground. And then we took the intake boot out. And there's the intake, as you can see. Let's take some more of this apart. Okay, so here's the top cover. There's 4 screws. There's one here, 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 and here. Get the sparkulator out of the way. sparkulator maker. Okay, so there's the top cover. There's the plastics. Looks fine. Here's the cover. I went ahead and unloosened it. 4 screws on that. Here, 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 and here. Very beefy. Killinger said he had some issues with it, with his. Something about these, I forget what they're called, tangs, or I don't know. But he said something about they weren't catching this very good. So be mindful of, it wasn't catching these very good, this here very good. So be mindful of that if you get yours, which I always am with these Chinese ones, because I don't think there's a rope I haven't broke on them. Good idea just to change those ropes out, man. They're not very good, but let's take this all out of here. Okay. Now if I can get that out of the way just enough so you can see the coil. Yeah, looks like it. So there's the coil, a little small thing. Let's see what my gap looks like. Yeah, it's not bad. About the size of a business card. So there's the flywheel. Hopefully that's on there tight. I'm gonna go back and tighten everything up. That's usually what I do when I get these. I'll blue Loctite everything as much as I can. So just a good idea if you get one to do that. So you have a couple T25s here, Torx, small guys. These aren't here. And then the largest Allen takes these 2 down in the muffler. And they weren't real tight, so I said, I think this muffler will come off now, yeah. So there's the muffler, real light, hollow can, looks like. Oh. Yeah, so your largest Allen. It's always the one that doesn't want to come out, you know. There we go. Is it completely hollow? Yep, completely hollow can. So that's cool. So, you know, I was going to tear this down anyway. This is a 1-piece. I mean, it's a 2-piece, but they've welded it or seamed it together somehow. That's a big can in it. Dang. Yeah, I'm closing these and putting something up here or something because I don't like that design. But anyway, that's all you got to do to take that off. Okay, it says the NGKR plug. This was ran before I got it. I don't know how long or anything like that. They tested it to see if it would run possibly. But I run 40-to-1 red armor in all my stuff with non-ethanol 90 octane rec fuel. So, and it usually doesn't look that quite like that. So I had a feeling they ran that with some junk. But I mean, that doesn't look that bad. I'm just saying, I mean, it's like a light brown, but I'm just saying I don't think it'd look that bad from like the one tank I put through it, you know. So let me get this top end off. Let's take a look at it. Oh yeah, they got these in there good. Damn. So that's one good thing. Gee whiz. I went and Loctited that or something. All right, the moment of truth here. Anybody want to place their bets on how bad this is going to look? I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, my red armor is just barely coming through on this stuff. I don't know what they ran through here before, but it wasn't anything good. You can see it's not red, it's like a brown from whatever they, but you can also see that the red armor is doing its job. It's all over this piston. Look at that, everywhere. So, I mean, everywhere in the crank. Oh, that was one thing. I was really surprised that this has like hardly any vibration, this saw. I was super surprised at that. Anyway, there's the wash pattern. So, let me get that kind of, there's the wash pattern there. So, just to let you see, kind of a strong one over here, it looks like. So, could be worse, could be better, could be worse. Let me just wipe it out real quick so you can see what's going on at least. Yeah. Man, I don't know what they ran through here. It looks like crap though. I'm just kind of cleaning it out so we can see what's going on. I wonder if I should clean it out with like brake cleaner or something so you guys can see better. I don't like that. I don't know what that is. Yeah, that's on the flywheel side. I don't like that at all. Looks like it's something scuffing it, like the edge of the flywheel. Yeah, I got it probably clean enough so you guys can see it. So, let's see if this little light I got here is good enough. I'm gonna try to get in here so I can see the camera. So, here, let me turn the light off real quick and I'll, you press it. Yeah, see it better. I have to do that in real time because people cry if I don't. So, there we have it. So here's the, is it the muffler? Let's start the intake. So, there's the intake. Here's the exhaust. Smaller than I expected. That doesn't look too bad at all there. Neither one. Huh. So intake's on this side. So just to give you a shot, maybe that chamber down there. Can you see that okay? Not bad, dang. And then it transfers. A couple little boogers over here, looks like. If you can see those, yeah, that looks like crap. I don't know what happened there. But everything else looks decent. If you can see those upper transfers, they're flawless, really. If you can see them or not too bad. There's the inside of the exhaust. Not really too terribly bad. And yeah, this side looks a little bit better. Lower transfer. And then the upper transfer, I don't know what that mark is down there. It's weird. It's all the way around. Huh. Anyway, that other upper doesn't look too terribly bad either. And then the intake. Intake looks pretty good. So overall, that's not that bad for China. I mean, you guys have seen a lot worse, I'm sure. I know I have. But this thing, I'll work it a little bit and etch it out a little bit, maybe, and probably get a little bit of a performance boost. Again, I'm just using this for milling. I don't know. I was honestly expecting a lot worse. You know, I really was. I was expecting a lot worse than that. So, pleasantly surprised. I don't know if you guys can pick that up there either, but yeah. I was surprised. I don't see any markings on it, in case you were wondering. No markings on anything, nowhere, no markings on this one. So, but that's pretty typical for these like prototypes, clones and stuff. So anyway, yeah, really wide, narrow exhaust. I thought that would be a lot bigger, like you know, like a steel. Those older steels, they had a big exhaust. Intake's not too terribly huge either. A lot of room to do some stuff with these. I can see why people turn these into racers, you know. And oh, looks like my glove broke. But the only real bad part I see is right here on that lower. I don't know if you guys can catch that or not. Right here's a couple little marks. Easily to fix that there, but get a little diamond burr and hopefully it don't chip after I do it. But yeah, not bad, man. I am serious. That is not bad. Way better than I expected. I don't know. Leave down in the comments what you thought about that. All this. That's pretty surprising. So, yeah. Double ring piston. They're thick pistons. Thick piston rings. I don't know if you can get any of that crank or not. There's some residue down in there. That red armor's probably cleaning it all out, whatever it is. I'll clean all this up real good before I put it back together and do my mods. I'll probably just check the timing here next on it and probably call it a vid, because I think that gives you guys a pretty good in-depth indication of what you got going on here. You know what I mean? So let me get some timing numbers, and you know, I don't have to do that on camera. I can just, you know, do the timing and then just kind of talk about them or something. I forgot to show you guys this piston. Before I start timing it, let's look at that. Grab this little light, maybe you can see better. But, not too terribly bad either. I mean, it's not that bad. I'm really surprised. There's the intake side. Let's look at the other side here. Not too terribly bad. And again, down the crank there, if you want to see a little bit of that. So, again, a lot better than I expected on this thing. They're stepping their game up, that's for sure. I'll clean all this up later, but just thought I'd show you the piston real quick. I'm gonna go time this. I'll be right back. Okay, just finished up here timing this this 3120 clone, and this is what we got, and my thoughts. So this is stock numbers with base gasket on. Intake is 70, transfers 123, exhaust 100, squish 32 thousandths, and the base gasket is 17 thousandths. Crankcase compression 53 degrees and blow down 23 degrees. I think I got that right. Someone will surely tell me out there if I'm wrong. But anyway, I have some thoughts on this. Those seem real close to stock numbers on the cylinder, the timing numbers. So I had an assumption on that too, but I think I'm wrong. But you know, so scratch this part. But so scratch this part here with the numbers. I'll do that right now, because those are close to stock numbers. But the carb, what was replicated, I believe, because you kind of got to calm me out, I guess. I've never done it, but some of these companies will, they need a product to replicate, so that someone will send them a saw or go over there or whatever and give them a saw or whatever they want to clone, so they can, make molds and, castings and whatever. And you gotta, like, call me out and go do that or whatever. I'm not going to ever do anything like that, but some people are willing to. That's on them. I don't know. But someone did on this 3120, I believe. And, I know they did, because that's how it happens. I know for a fact that's how it happens. That's how they get all these saws. But I think someone has modified the original saw that they replicated this with. And I think that's how they got the carb like that. And I had the assumption on the cylinder, but those are so close to stock numbers, I don't think that's correct. I think they had modified that carb and brought that saw over there, or sent that saw over there, and that's what got replicated. Because why would these Chinese manufacturers give a crap about that saw having anything but the stock carburetor? They don't care. I mean, they would sell the same units, I guarantee it. They don't care about that stuff. I mean, I wouldn't care. I would still buy the saw if it had the clone of the stock carb. But this one has two jets, and I find that very interesting that that's what they did. I could be completely out of place here, completely wrong, but that's what I think happened. I've seen some things kind of like that before. So anyway, you never know. Maybe not. Maybe I'm getting old and believe in conspiracy theories. I don't know. But that's my thoughts on the matter. And if you stuck around this long, I appreciate it. And please leave your thoughts down in the comments. I'm open to anything you might be correct me with, or any of that. I'm humble in that respect. So please leave some comments, guys. Until next time, see ya.